and precision taste. Everybody knows Japanese cooking already. Let me concentrate on something that others don't know yet. Jamaican food, etc., etc. In the cruise lines, there's this tourist that orders the most exotic dish. Oh, I know how to do that, sir. Here it is. The long tail. Okay. So what we've seen is always the head, the big name companies, the big name publishers. Okay. But what about those that have 20 videos, 30 videos, 40 videos versus those that have 2,000 or 5,000 videos? Do they count those that only have 30 or 50? Yes, they count. But if you didn't have the tools, matatabunan. We will never notice, ay, meron palang ganun. Same thing with catechists. Okay? There might be thousands of us. If we started sharing our videos, of course, meron mga, the more popular ones. Okay? Have hundreds. But what if, some quiet, teacher, professor there says, I have this composition, it's original, I uploaded it, I shared it, but, that one or two videos made a difference. Is that possible? Possible when? How? Chicken or egg? If we didn't have the tools, if we didn't have the platform, all these things, all these possibilities that I'm describing, are they possible or not? Possible or not if we didn't have the tools, if we didn't have the platform, if we didn't have the know-how, if we didn't have the community? Right? Not possible. Or, siguro, improbable. It's still possible, but highly unlikely. Any of you teaching business? Wala. Accounting? Wala. So I can skip this slide because this is for the business guys. Okay, let me introduce a term. Transmedia. So no April or no May, we had a 2-day seminar. I called that seminar Transmedia Librarianship. There are around 30 schools or 30 participants from around 15 schools that attended. Okay. What is this animal called transmedia? So I'll give you the authorities' version of what transmedia is, and I'll give you my own local version of what transmedia is, so that you can choose or mix and match.
We're definitely at a moment of transition, a moment where an old media system is dying and a new media system is being born. An era when spectatorial culture is giving way to participatory culture, where a society based on a small number of companies controlling the storytelling apparatus is giving way to a much more complex.
Okay, this is Henry Jenkins. Used to head Center or Institute for Comparative Media Studies at MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Comparative Media Studies. There's print, there's digital, there's film. That's what he studied. And he transferred to University of Southern California last year. So I must have easily 60 or 70 of his lectures. Okay? I curated his lectures, but I can only give him 3 minutes of our time right now. Okay, so this is the 3 minutes I'm using. Around 2 years ago, I attended a webinar with him as the resource person. Okay. So we were chatting with other professors from the States. I was the only Filipino. The biggest concern of the college professors during our session was the fact that, hey, okay, 2011, 2012, the incoming freshmen, US colleges, okay, would be the first generation of freshmen that, okay, were born, okay, in the web era, meaning they never knew a world without the internet, without the web. Okay, and here are the old professors. This is the library. This is our textbook class. Listen. So you know the attitude of those young. What do you mean? No internet inside the classroom? Hey, there's something wrong. Okay? So the same thing. So since we're lagging here in the Philippines, they had their internet 92, 93. Okay, we had our internet here 96, 97. Okay? So in another 2 or 3 years, we will have the first batch of college freshmen. So now he popularized the term transmedia. So let's listen.
Mediascape, where average citizens have the ability to seize control over the media technology and tell their own stories in powerful new ways. If we go back over thousands of years of human history, the most important stories were retold many, many times around the campfire. They belong to the both. As we move to the 20th century, those images now belong to major media companies who claim exclusive ownership of it. What we're seeing is in the digital age, as the public begins to take media in its own hands and begins to assert its right to retell their stories, the public are taking media without the permission of copyright owners and innovating, experimenting, recontextualizing, responding to those images in new ways. We take control of the media that enters our lives. And that's the essence of convergence culture. Convergence culture is a world where every story, every sound, brand, image, relationship plays itself out across the maximum number of media channels. It's shaped as much by the decisions made in teenagers' bedrooms as it is by decisions made in the Viacom boardroom. So a discussion list online or Wikipedia function according to collective intelligence, where the group as a whole can put together knowledge in a more complex way than the individual member is capable of doing. We're developing technologies around collective intelligence which allow us to monitor government-produced data in ways that would have been impossible before. We're seeing human rights activists taking videos recorded by torturers and turning them around and using them to call attention to the role of torture around the planet. The George Orwell imagined a world where Big Brother was watching us. But we instead, with a little cell phone camera, are watching Big Brother every moment of the day. On a transmedia project, the story or experience is spread across a variety of media platforms. Not in a way that's redundant, but rather in a way that's complementary, so that each platform contributes what it does best.
The matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room.
Popular entertainment so far has been the best at exploiting these core principles. We might look at The Matrix as a story that unfolds across 3 feature films, a dozen animated short subjects, about 20 comic book stories, about 3 video games, and continues to expand as the audience takes it up and creates fan fiction.
Anong definition niya ng transmedia? Saan mabilis magsalita? Ha? Kailangan i-rewind? O hindi pa niya dinidify? Layman's terms. Okay. Transmedia. So dati, you had the mass media. You had TV, mass media is the lecture hall or the library, okay, the campus. Now you have cell phone, you have YouTube, you have Wi-Fi, you have your laptop, you have your device, etc. So the key about transmedia storytelling is nothing. It was the publisher or the big boss that would say, "This is what should spread," including the professor. This is what we will take up, right? Right here, it's the reverse. The focus is on the user. Okay, I have all sorts of channels that I can access. Okay, the same, if not related stories. Say the nativity, the Ten Commandments, or whatever. For me to, have it as my own, I can watch it on YouTube, I can read a book, okay, I can listen to an MP3 recording, etc., etc. It's up to me to decide. I am in control of what and when. Okay? So our role now is to create the environment so that, if one multiple intelligence, one wants to read, you read. The other one wants to watch, you watch. The other one wants to listen to music and song, you do it via rap. Maybe he will get it, via rap. Diba? Yo. Diba? Tama? Okay? But I have a different definition. When I call it transmedia librarianship, iba kasi yung context sa Pilipinas. Ang context sa Philippines is, meron tayong, quote-unquote, the original search engine. The original search engine, before YouTube was in an educational institution, who was the original search engine? The librarian. Not the library. The library is just a physical, The original human search engine was the librarian. Okay? And then in the last 10 years, the librarian kind of retreated. Right? Meaning, kasi may Google na. Dati may Yahoo, ngayon may Google na, ngayon may Twitter na, ngayon may Facebook na. Ano gagawin namin? What happens to the librarian? Are they extinct? Or do they still have a crucial role in teaching and learning in an educational setting? Sino sa inyo may barkadang librarian? Are you a librarian? Licensed? Okay. Pero bata ka pa eh. So, how old are you? 20? 21. You report to a senior librarian? No. Yes. Ilang taon na yung boss mo na senior librarian? Yeah. Is she able to adapt with all the things that are going on? Or are you like talking Greek when you explain to her, "Ma'am, dapat ganito, ma'am, hindi ba pwede ganyan," etc. You're kind of trying. And how successful have you been in kind of trying? Because generation, the YouTube generation, the Facebook generation. So sabihin, ano mo na budget? Diba? Our idea with transmedia librarianship in the Philippine setting is to start with religious education. Okay, meaning, you don't really have to take the Western, the American, the European video. Can we create our own videos? With all our music, etc., etc. What is missing is the platform, the know-how, but there are a lot of people that can contribute content. Tama ba rin? Diba? Kaya lang, walang gumagawa, walang nag-aggregate, walang nag-assemble, walang nag-ano ng teknolohiya. Diba? So if you're able to introduce that religious ed, okay, using transmedia, Aba, magtataka yung ibang departments, tataka yung management. Bakit si sister na hindi techie? Gumagamit na ng video. Okay, hindi ba pupunta sa IT department? Di ba? Okay? Bakit yung pinaka-least technical, yung madre, yung pare? Okay, yung philosophy major. Okay? Ang naunang mag-adapt ng teknolohiya. Bakit kaya natin? Na-bypass ang IT, na-bypass ang MIS, na-bypass ang library. Posible, hindi posible? Possible, right? Possible.
Sweet child!
O pati siya, nag-agree na possible. Diba? Anyway, so, there's a lot of challenges in introducing video, no? So, what we're trying to do is get all the technologies in place na, okay, si teacher, si professor, si sister, may isang tablet o isang smartphone. Okay? Kakabit sa PC or sa LCD. Class. Click. Class. Click. Class. Click. So, yung netbook nyo, yung laptop nyo, huwag nyo tatapon yan kahit luma, kahit everybody shifting ka ng magagamit na yan. Magagamit na yan. Okay, I'll skip a couple of slides because we have a T30. We have a T30.
It's not the thing.
Just as a context, this was St. Paul, Quezon City. St. Paul, St. Paul, Manila. So this is 2010. It was a business and technology week, so I spoke there. Okay. At that time, 2010, okay, the chairman of Google said, okay, by 2019, you will have an iPod-like device. iPod-like device. They already have like an iPod-like device. Pretty much, right? Yeah, something with nice resolution, color display, nice graphics, touch interface, good storage. You will have an iPod-like device with 85 years worth of video on that device. 85, hindi 8.5. 85 years. So that's 2019. What year is it now? 2013. So that's six short years away. So if I have a device that can store 85 years of video, why am I still going to the classroom to listen to a lecture? Parang, hello, andito na sa bulsa ko yung lecture galing sa Yale, galing sa Harvard, galing sa Berkeley. So, that's on the horizon. Okay? How many of you have Android devices? Android. 1, 2. Uy, lahat pa ka-iPhone? Android 2, Android 4. Okay. This is an Android. Ano usually storage capacity ng Android? 4 gig, 8 gig, 16 gig, 60, 16 gig. Okay. Video Math 101. If you go to Yale, everybody knows Yale University? In New Haven, Connecticut? Okay. Yung mga presidente ng Amerika, dalawang eskwela na nagagaling yan. Sa Harvard at saka sa Yale. Okay. So if you go to Yale, if you download the full lecture, full course sa Yale, of any Yale course, if they have open Yale, they're giving away their lecture. On 30 lectures, okay, 100 megabytes per lecture, ergo, total 3 gigabytes is one complete course. So if you have a 16 gig Android device or a 16 gig iPod, that means, okay, you can fit the equivalent of 4 or 4.5 Yale courses on your device. But given today's technology, you don't have to wait till 2019 for that device with 85 years. Okay? This device has 250 gigabytes of storage. So that means I can put 100 Yale courses here. Okay? I came from UP Open University. In any given semester, we will run 100 courses in any given semester online. So that means if we recorded our lectures, okay, the entire semester of 100 courses will fit on this device. I'm hearing murmurs and what's the buzz about? What's the buzz about? Are you realizing something? You don't. No, you don't need to go to school to attend a lecture. You need to go to school for something other than a lecture. Exam, discussion, report, etc., etc. Okay? What else did you realize? Related to evangelization. Like, for example, how wide? Global. What if sister says, okay, I will create 4, 5, 6 lectures of an hour each. Give it away. Okay. Other schools, the Koreans, the Vietnamese, the Chinese. Interesting. What's this also? What's this also? Sister, email address. FB na. Can we have your contact? Are you free to conduct a seminar, an intensive lecture course, etc., etc.? By all means. Okay.
Is there any danger of changing something
Without your evaluation? It's up to you. So,
for example, if I wrote something, I wrote a book, and I want to share it to others, instead of changing there, because if you change one or two words,
okay, I'd be a liar to say there is no danger. You're 100% protected with all the technology and the hackers out there. My only assurance is this particular platform that I use, that we're using right now, okay, is the safest in the planet. So if you didn't give them access to your files, you just publish. Okay, what you publish, they cannot change. But if you gave them access to your, let's say, your directory or your folder and your PDF and doc file, then you have a problem. But this is the safest in the planet right now. Remember a couple of months ago, this brouhaha with China, diba? All the government websites, a dozen or so government websites were hacked. They faced. That's because they were using the most common CMSs called Drupal, Joomla, WordPress, which are easy to hack. So this one is the most secure. I'm not saying it's foolproof, but it's the most secure. Want me to show you? Okay, in users and groups, do you see this? Users and groups. Okay, so you can register, etc., etc. Then when you register a user, there are seven levels of authorities. So what in the lowest is you can just read. The other one is you can review and alter, etc. All the way down to all the way up to super manager. Manager can do the entire administration of the entire collection. So you will probably be the manager, and then depending on what your course design is in the authority level, your basic users could just be readers or downloaders. They cannot alter. But some you can say, okay, you can collaborate, you can add, you can revise, etc. But there's a workflow that says you can add if I approve it, meaning there's a workflow. It will only take effect upon your approval. Does that answer your question? Huh? Yes, this is all free. But my time is not. So this is
I'm interested because I happen to enroll several books. And my last book is my intention in writing that is to aid the volunteer family. I wrote the seven sacraments of family life education task that and the stand of the church. It has imprimatur and it also stands from the Archdiocese of Manila. And it is already given to St. Paul population. And in the
alright.
lalaki. Okay. So they already published my other books. So they still hold this task one. So I'm thinking because even that they money from that because the time is at school. So I'm thinking because they also translated this already by Tagalog. This will really help the families, especially the volunteer families. Now I'm thinking how to bring this to the families. This will not be public for those who want to make money. How I don't know how to do about that. It is already submitted it already in the archives of Manila, and it has already application. The point of capital is and in fact it was already edited with the same goal. I know that why they are not publishing it because they cannot make money.
very good.
I'm willing to make to share it.
Very good. So, okay, sister, can we sit down after this? Because that's exactly the type of community that we want to develop in this flat media project with different types of platforms.
My name is I am Ines Agustinutan. I am the author of Going with the Bible and History. I am also going with the book published by St. Paul. And I wrote that in three languages, in Cebuano, Tagalog, and English. It is very Indian to understand.
I'll give you a challenge, sister. Dun sa seminar namin nung May, may mga madre na bosses in the school. So may problema sila sa website, ganyan. So sabi daw nung sister, kailangan na bumili ng ganyan, hindi kaya, kailangan mo bumili ng consultant, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, to make a long story short, sabi ko dun sa si Sister Dom, Sister, I will teach you how to create your own website over lunch. Mga 20 minutes. Sabi ko sa kanya gano'n. Sabi niya, yung mga ICT partner kami, 3 taon na, hindi pa magagawa yung website, blah, blah, blah. Paano yun? Sabi ko lang ako short. It's up in my YouTube page. No? So, after lunch, sister, ready na. I taught her step by step, quick, using this software. Okay. So, in 14 minutes, nakagawa na siya ng website ng school nila, tapos kinuha ng pinapit-paste namin yung logo nila from their existing website. Tapos sabi sa akin ng mother, sabi, Sir Ingrid, sinungaling pala kayo. Ah, bakit ako naging sinungaling? Sir, sabi niyo 20 minutes, 14 lang. So, sinungaling daw ako. Malay kong magaling yung system, takalin niya yung 14 minutes, estimate ko 20. So, again, if you have, if you know that the right tools, hey, kaya ko palang gawin. Or, just with a little thing. Now, ito yung, so, okay, may nabanggit si sister, na, okay, meron na siyang text, meron ng libro Diba? Now, there's this phenomenon in Web 2.0 that's called architecture of participation. Will you allow a group of students, okay, to quote-unquote embrace your work and express it differently via video, via dance, via song? Okay? Because that's how they internalize, things that they're passionate about right now. Sulat-sulat. Diba? They're used to 140 characters na lang. Okay? Twitter. Diba? They're used to emoticons na lang. Diba? But if you ask them to dance, to perform, to sing, etc. Oh wow! It's a whole new, different way of internalizing learning and teaching. Like, how many of you have resigned from your work previously? What would you do to say, I resign? You write a letter. Have you seen a video of I'm resigning? You've seen it, right? So, ano yung impact na? And all of a sudden, because of that, okay, she got another job offer. 10 million, watched my video, saw something different about me. Okay, now I get another job. Thank God. So when you saw that video, how did you get word about that video? Somebody liked it on Facebook? Somebody tweeted you? Shared it in Facebook? So this whole phenomenon of YouTube doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's part of a triangle. The triangle is Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Diba? If you wanna fully maximize, quote-unquote, the transmedia-ness of the story, you would make it available and use all those tools so this software can allow you to have your own a la Facebook, not Facebook. This software will allow you to do a la Twitter, okay, not Twitter. This software will allow you to do a la YouTube, as I'm showing you right now. Okay, let me make a connection to this week's headline. Filipino o English dapat sa kaso? Filipino, English, whatever. Private school. English. Yeah, the real answer is, okay, it depends on the user. Make both available. You don't have to choose. Let the user choose. Diba? If I want to be working in a call center, why should I listen to Tagalog? I want to speak English. So what if those lessons So what of those lessons were playing on a China MP4 player na tag 1,000 pesos? Okay? Voice of America, slow, understandable English with the right accent, 30% slower than normal speaking voice. And then translate. Pipilit natin yung Filipino, eh meron na pala pang-practice dito eh. It runs on your MP4 player. So, okay, here, it's in fact, migrated twice already. The original of that video was an article. That's Voice of America, which is a radio program. It was an article, it was translated into video, it was delivered via audio, Voice of America radio, then repurposed for video, then video through the web via YouTube. I took it out of YouTube, put it in my computer, okay, then from my computer to an MP4 device or an Android device or an Apple device. So, ilang hops na yun, ilang migrations na yun. Everybody knows Marshall McLuhan? You heard of Marshall McLuhan? Marshall McLuhan, the Canadian pop theorist. Okay, you heard the phrase, the medium is the message, right? The global village. The medium is the massage. So those are all McLuhan. McLuhan has his famous quote. Okay. We shape our tools. Thereafter, our tools shape us. So, visualize it. Okay? We shape our tools. Who mentioned tools here? Can video and new media be a tool? Can YouTube be a tool? Okay? But not as is, right? We have to shape it. We have to filter it. We have to curate it. We have to right size it. Okay? Dish it out to the audience or the community. The community contributes. Later on, it becomes part and parcel of our body or corpus of knowledge, corpus of catechism, etc. We shape our tools. Thereafter, our tools shape our audiences. Agree or disagree? Okay, so who's going to shape the tools? One person? One school? One department? Huh? Maybe a group. How big is that group? 2 people? How big is that group? What if that group is everybody? Is that possible? Some contribute a lot, some contribute a little, but everybody can participate. Everybody should be participate. Okay, you've heard what a MOOC is? M-O-O-C? Anybody understand MOOC? M-O-O-C? MOOC? MOOC? Mukhang hinahantok na kayo, ha? MOOC? Ha? Hinahantok na? Okay. Dapat ito ang section na hindi nyo tutulugan dahil ito yung one that's very crucial for Philippine education as well as the nation and the church. Okay. And it's at the same time an opportunity. MOOC or MOOC is massively online open. Massively online open courseware or courses. When you have one class, okay, you have 100,000 classmates, but the one that's facilitating or teaching the class is the best authority, has 30 years experience, etc., etc., in that field. And it comes for free. Huh? Huh? Parang nasasakay doon sa free. Huh? So, everybody, you're just hearing the word MOOC right now? Oh, why? Oh, why? This term must be like 3 or 4 years old already.
Every few seconds, the ticker on the Coursera website moves up, as 70,000 new students a week enroll in courses like human-computer interaction, introduction to astronomy, and modern poetry, all offered by top-tier universities.
I've been teaching a class similar to this for 10 years, and I'm excited about the opportunity to offer it to many more students through this online thing.
Welcome to the brave new world of massive open online courses, known as MOOCs, a tool for democratizing higher education.
So welcome to the artificial intelligence class of the
The MOOC is usually free, creditless, and massive. MOOCs first landed in the spotlight last year when Sebastian Thrun, a Stanford professor, offered a free artificial intelligence course, attracting 160,000 students in 190 nations. Although only a fraction of students who sign up actually complete the courses, millions of students are now enrolled in hundreds of online courses, including those offered by Udacity, Mr. Thrun's spin-off company, edX, a joint venture between Harvard and MIT, and Coursera, a Stanford spin-off that has attracted top universities like Princeton, Columbia, Duke, and University of Pennsylvania.
We're in the business of creating and disseminating knowledge. And in 2012, the internet is incredibly important place to be present if you're in the knowledge dissemination business.
One of the first MOOCs the university developed is called Healthcare Policy and the Affordable Care Act, taught by Dr. Ezekiel J. Emanuel, a former book.
Okay, we're kind of short of time. You go visit YouTube, in the next couple of days. There's one single video that you should watch, especially if you're in higher ed. It's just 2-3 minutes. So please understand what the threat is as well as the opportunity. Now there are 80 universities that have embraced the business model. So each university contributes 2 or 3 or 4 courses. So you're really looking at around 200 plus courses already that are available for free. One thing that's very different in the MOOC is you're not bound by the semester or the quarter. Okay? It's up to the professor. If he says, let's do this in 2 weeks or 2 months or in 3 months, it's up to the professor to decide that. So don't get stuck with the mindset na, hindi kailangan sem. Hindi kailangan quarter. It doesn't work that way anymore. But the big opportunity is if your faculty, I'm not talking about theo right now, theology, I'm just talking about education in general. Let's say I'm a science teacher, physics. Okay? And my undergrad was biology, but I happen to be teaching physics right now. Maybe it's time for me to enroll and refresh myself. Personal growth, personal development. Ay, gano'n na pala. Wala na lang pala yung planeta, hindi na pala siya. Diba? Etc. etc. But your faculty will do that if they had the tools. If you didn't give them the tools, sister naman, si father naman, masyado sa lista, daming pinapagawa, wala naman binigay na equipment, wala naman binigay na bandwidth, wala naman binigay na time. Diba? Pinahirapan pa kami. Okay. So this might be a In the case of Catholic schools, universities, this can be the reboot. Di ba, parang OS, operating system, yung Windows, hindi na gumagalaw. Naghang. Click. Let's reboot our brains. Okay, so I'll just do 2 more slides. No? So contextualizing in the Philippines. Okay, so this is what bullying for a high school Catholic school. Anyone seen this video? Huh? How many of you understand the term triangulation? Triangulation. Paano nalalaman ng cellphone nyo, ng cellphone provider nyo, kung nasan yung location ng cellphone nyo? GPS? Signal. Signal. From 1 tower or how many towers? Triangulation. Initial impact. How does the short video grab you? Does it grab your attention? Versus a kwento? Versus an article? How does it impact you? Ay, oo nga, no, nangyayari. May nakita na akong ganyan. Kilala kong ganun din ang nangyari. Naikwento sa akin. Blah, blah, blah. It's more real now. That's how they're expressing themselves. That's how they're internalizing whatever it has to be internalized. And communicating what has to be internalized. Ang dami yan. Okay? So, Ateneo, triangulation. Let's say you want to study a certain subject, like say bullying, cyberbullying, or prostitution, or whatever. Poverty. Since you have a lot of videos, you can say, oh, group 1, take care of this set of 10. Group 2, take care of this set of 10. Group 3, take care of this set of 10. Okay? Now you have multiple points of view and multiple quote-unquote objects to analyze. And then you say, okay, so it works this way, if it's like this, it doesn't work this way, if it's like that, etc. Right now, what do you have? One book, one author, maybe one chapter. Is that the case? But as the learners are participating, they're developing their taste and they're developing their communication skills. Especially if you say, okay, class, the output is a 5-minute video documentary. Start speaking. You're recording. Syempre. karaoke, etc., etc. Best foot forward, performance, blah, blah, blah. Because the tools are there. To us, to our generation, those are technologies and tools. To them that were born when those things existed already. Okay? YouTube, that's not a tool. Hello? The cell phone, that's not a tool. 2 years old pa lang nagsiselfone na ako, 3 years old pa lang nag-iPad na ako. Anong tool ang pinag-uusapan niyo? That's just part of everyday life. To us, a refrigerator was a tool, but to our grandparents, to us, a refrigerator is no longer a tool, but to our grandparents, a refrigerator was a tool. So what tools are we talking about here? The tools of your generation or the tools of the learner's generation? Exactly. But to them, those are not tools. Photoshop, excuse me. Facebook, excuse me. Kailangan ko ba yun eh? Aaralin ko, Microsoft Word, aaralin ko ba namin yun? Hello? Diba, there's this phenomenon right now about indie films. Nakikilala yung mga Filipino directors, the creativity, etc., etc. What if high school pa lang? Wow. Mayroon na 3-minute documentary, 5-minute documentary, blah, blah, blah. Baka paglaki yan, wow. Cannes or Emmy or Oscar, best foreign film, blah, blah, blah. Remember, because of our English skills, we can communicate to a wider audience. By default, we can communicate to a wider audience. Can we be evangelizing via film, via video, via YouTube? I said I have 25 slides. We got up to like half of it. But unfortunately, 1.5 hours for this thing. It's kind of difficult. We just spend the last 3 or 4 minutes on going back to these things that were written. What needs to change? Attitude. Do we still need to change the attitude, or are we in the process of beginning to change the attitude? Your mindset has already been shoved aside? Not yet. Anyway, I have no answer to that. That's part of your reflection. Approach and strategies. The old way, the old method, the old techniques versus the new methods. Do we have a problem or do we have an opportunity? Opportunity. Is the opportunity tiny, significant, large, global? Which one? Significant, global, large, tiny. Global. Significant muna. Sigurista. After significant, what happened? Large. Okay. So baby steps muna. I think we have, do we agree? We have a significant opportunity. Okay. The rest of our competitor countries, okay, they have this disadvantage with English. We have English, we have our church, we have our community, we have our families. They don't have pretty much, okay, the assets that we have. We have our schools. Experience. Dito tayo kailangan magbabad. Everybody's a newbie. Ha? Gusto nga mag-sister, gusto nga mag-sulat ng libro. Title ng libro ko, BCD. BCD, hindi ba laos na yun? Hindi, 2001, 2002, BCD pa tayo, remember? Diba? Side A, side 1, this was, this 2, BCD. That was what, 10 years ago. Ano yung BCD ngayon? Wala na, meron pa. Yun nga yung title ng libro ko. Ano yung sabihin ng BCD? Video curation for dummies. Yung talagang very basic. Click this, do that. Input this. Video curation for dummies. Newbies. Video curatorship for dummies. Or video catechism for dummies. O, hindi na dummies. Video catechism, distributed, didactic or whatever. Methods. Yung PowerPoint natin, saka yung Word natin, saka yung dependence natin, bawas-bawasan na natin. Okay. Process, that I am here to help. Titus Brad was here to help. Card is here to help. Okay. Format, medium, this will change. Dati, flash video, tapos naging MP4, tapos naging QuickTime, or QuickTime, tapos naging MP4, tapos ngayon, WebM na, tapos HTML5 na. When can we catch up? Diyan tayo may iwanan for that, because this thing will change maybe practically every 2 years. The formats will change because the technologies change and the know-how and creativity of the users will change. Then participation, that's the most important. Dati, sage on the stage. Ako lang, lahat kayo. Quiet kayo, ako lang may alam dito. Ilipat ko sa inyo. Ibabahagi ko yung kaalaman ko. Pwede ba yun ngayon? May pang teacher, okay, yung mga Jurassic na, okay. But crowdsource, give them the tools, democratize, and then you'll find out how creative they are, how expressive they are. But the a priori requirement is they have the tools. Then you should acquire the know-how once you have the tools. How? The shortest way, maybe si Brother Arnold will announce, some training, etc. But do join the Curator Transmedia Project for Religious Teachers. So that should be on stream. Ipapilot niya yung second semester. Okay, with around 15 schools. So if you're by summer, you're interested, please. Okay, so I turn you over to Brother Arnold unless there are any other questions. Dana? So thank you very much, and I hope we'll meet again sometime.
Thank you very much. Ang pinakinggan namin sa inyo this part, how to be yung maging contributor sa YouTube. Kasi hindi magiging kompleto yung sinasabi natin God experience sa YouTube kung wala siyang content. Ang content niya nasa sa inyo. So, being an evangelizer, kailangan natin matutong mag-contribute para magkaroon ng content, mas mabuting content ng YouTube. So, yung second part ng gagawin natin, ito yung learning experience, yung practical side. Paano naman tayo mag-receive? Wala akong sasabihin. Meron kami privilege ng content here. Ito yung panahon naman ng ating pananahimik. Para malaman din natin yung other side ng mga nagbibigay ng content. Ano yung naman? At paano tayo nag-receive doon sa mga content na binibigay. So, now, bago tayo magtapos, kasi pagkatapos nito, I will allow you to go out. Dahil 4:30, schedule natin is 3:30 to 4, mag-break tayo. So, sa gitna naman po natin. And then, pagbalik nyo, meron kayong room assignment. Hindi ko kanina. And then, meron kayong binigyan ng 2 questions from Panda. How to answer it. You're going to share it dun sa room na naka-assign sa inyo. So, before that, So, kita natin yung same thing na nagdaan. Same communication. Pero, nagkaroon siya ng meaning, nagkaroon siya ng content. Kasi meron siya ng meaning. And then tayo, yung mindset natin, iba na yung meaning natin. And mas malalim pa rin. This is another example. But this is another example. Kasi nila. And then, lagay nila sa photo.
Now you know the difference between curated videos and videos that are in progress. Ako ba nilagay ko? Ako ba nilagay yun?
What? Hello? Tại thằng mai đây tao ơi.
Thank you very much. So, yun lang yung sample. Stir garlic. Kakaroon ng dahil kung kayo mismo yung mag-deliver. Okay? So, thank you very much. Pagbalik lang, natin sa mga
Wala nang babalik dito. I don't know.
ang babalik natin sa sharing.